You played against these quarterbacks. There's 3 quarterbacks: Ben
Mm-hmm.
Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, and Phillip Rivers. All 3 of them, I think, are Hall of Famers. When you look at what Phillip Rivers did,
You said what?
I think all 3 of them are Hall of Famers. I think all 3 of them are Hall of Famers. Statistics, everything they've done in the NFL and where they came from. And I know a lot of people look at Phillip Rivers. Well, he never won a championship. Dan Marino never won a championship. There are a lot of quarterbacks that never won a championship. Obviously, the positions that they were in. And Phillip Rivers' best chance to win a Super Bowl, he was playing on a torn ACL. So, and it was pretty amazing what he did. I've argued this. I had Steve Weich on this show. And Steve Weich told me Phillip Rivers is not a Hall of Famer. And I went at him, and then he says Matthew Stafford is a better player to argue to go to the Hall of Fame. And I said, how could you say that when you look at Phillip Rivers' numbers and compare it to Matthew Stafford? It's not even comparable, okay? Your thoughts to these 3 quarterbacks. In order, who do you think goes to the Hall of Fame first, second, and third, and why?
I don't think any of them go, and I don't think any of them deserve to go. Keep it a buck, but I say if anyone wants to go, it go be Eli first.
Well, look
probably. He just has the he has the brand, he has the name, he has the Super Bowls, New York. He'd probably be the first to go. Then it'd be Big Ben and Phillip last. I just think that Eli is closer. He may not have the numbers of Ben or
Rivers.
See, it's coming back, Rivers. But
you guys beat the Chargers.
The chips, man, the
Just
chips.
Remember that one well.
The chips and the name. That's
but
like, damn.
You know it takes a team to win.
MVPs, Super Bowl MVPs.
Every quarterback gets a Super Bowl MVP. Stop this crap.
That's not true.
Yes,
How
most
come
of the time.
Roethlisberger didn't?
Most of the time. That's because the first time Ben Roethlisberger went to the Super Bowl, he was practically a rookie.
And Heinz Ward was just that good.
Yes. And so I don't want to hear that. When you look at a team, football's the ultimate team game. I am just looking at that.
I don't feel just because you're one of the best quarterbacks in your organization that you deserve to go to the Hall of Fame.
Well, Drew Brees played for San Diego,
but not very long.
Yeah, but he still played with San
Diego.
But
Drew Brees is a saint. Everyone knows Drew Brees is a saint.
He was drafted by San Diego.
He's a saint.
Nobody said the Chargers were the brightest organization.
And he got a Super Bowl.
So, TJ,
I
got something I got to ask you.
Super Bowls are won by teams. Stop it.
Errol always talks about.
Hold on. When you look at Peyton Manning in that run, you're going to tell me right now Peyton Manning is the reason why you guys won that Super Bowl?
I'm not saying he's the reason why we won, but he was a big part of why we won.
Well,
I'm telling you that.
Get out of here.
Hey,
you had
PM. We all know PM was dealing with a lot of stuff that year. But let me tell you, at the end of them games, when we needed them points, we was getting them points. Now the rest of the game, I don't know.
I'm going to argue with you here.
The end of the game, we was getting them points.
First of all, in the starting of the season, what really got you into playoffs was Osweiler, if you remember that. I know you do. And then
Osweiler came in and did his thing, too. That's what's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Look, that's the beauty of our championship. Like, people always say, oh, such and such got hurt, that we would have won. We should have, could have did this because they got hurt. We did get hurt. Everybody got hurt. I almost didn't even play in the Super Bowl. I got kicked out. Stu got hurt in the AFC Championship game. That's why, if you look at it, Grunt went crazy towards the end because we was down to no safeties. We had, like, the bottom of our bench on defense. So that's why that win is even better than people think. Like, everybody got hurt. Like, Sly was hurt, the D tackle. Man, everybody was hurt. We came into the Super Bowl limping.
Sly's been on a show. Yep. Hey, he's a great guy.
Oh, yeah, my dog Sly, man.
Yeah, he's been on a show.
Me and Sly got hurt on the same play versus the Patriots.
Yeah, he actually mentioned that. He actually brought up the injury that he had with you when you guys ran into each other. So he did mention that.
I was like, God dang.
I remember that. But I'm just telling you, going back to that and the argument over there, you say, well, they won the chip. They won the chip. The reason why you won that championship was Wolf and that defensive line. That defensive line was unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And the next year, you guys drafted another friend of our show, Adam Goetzus, who we met at the Super Bowl.
Goetzus is a good
guy.
Oh,
yeah, too. Big Adam. Yeah. Big guy. Guy's a great dude, too, man.
Such a nice guy, man. Really down there.
But you know what? I mean, who doesn't win with a good defense? You got to have a good defense to win the Super Bowl. Like, you see the Eagles? That's why they won. It wasn't like Hurts was out there airing the ball out. Like, that defense was crazy.
I mean, you got to at least have a good pass rush so
For
that they don't
sure.
have time.
For
But
sure.
but you
have
always win if you got good D
Yeah,
in
man.
every way.
Well,
Not even on the field.
TJ, I always ask this because I'm an offensive and defensive line high school coach up by West Point area in New York.
Okay.
And I always say, like, I want to have the D line get there because then my corners don't have to cover for more than a couple of seconds. And then they look good, and they get to make the turnovers, and then we win. You can't have a good secondary if you don't have at least one guy getting home that has to speed up that clock for that quarterback.
Man,
like,
I tell you,
it's real tough. Everyone always likes to talk about Phillip Rivers' completion percentage in this argument. And I always like to say
what?
his completion percentage because you like to dink and dunk a
Yeah,
lot.
man. I'm going to tell you something about that.
Him
Him and that Gates, man, like, that was my biggest thing with this Chargers. Like, him and Gates would just sit there and do this. And, you know, Gates is a wide-body Hall of Famer. I couldn't get around him. He was so wide. But, like, down the field, it was better. I could cut, but, like, the short little third, and I knew they was doing it 3rd and 4. They're going to run a pivot and I couldn't get around them. But I just think when we played him, at least, Phillip just threw too many interceptions. Like, we knew he was coming home with something.
You don't like Phil, all right? That's fine. It's okay.
No, we don't like Phil.
I knew you
don't
didn't
like
him.
Phil.
I knew you didn't like him. I knew it. And one of these days we're going to get Phil
we love
on
Phil, man. Actually, we love Phil because Phil talks shit.
Yes.
And as a defensive player, you love that from, like, quarterbacks and stuff. So,
now the real
really, him and Chris would be chirping all the time. Him and Chris Harris, they would be back and forth all day. They had, like, a 4-year romance.
Now the real question: Did Phillip Rivers talk?
It's not a romance; it's a bromance.
Did Phillip Rivers talk more shit to the refs or the players? That's the real question.
Man, that is a good question. I don't know.
It seems like he was always getting heated at the end of the game.
Oh, always.
All I was saying is Eli seemed to make all the big plays.
Could you stop with the giant crap? What are we talking about the Giants all the time? We're talking to a Bronco.
No, we're TJ and are joining the Chargers hate trade.
All right, and why are we talking this conversation? It all of a sudden sways to the Giants and Eli Manning.
Just because he didn't agree with you.
I don't listen. He doesn't like Phillip Rivers. That's fine. That's great. Most people don't. Most people don't.
It's not about liking. It's just that
do
most
people agree? I don't think most people agree with you on that.
That's fine, and that's why I got my own opinion, and that's why I think Phillip Rivers, out of all three of them, is the better quarterback.
You think he was always talking shit?
You didn't ask me who was a better quarterback. You asked me who I think was going to the Hall of Fame.
I know people are going to argue that but if it was up to me, and I would look at all three quarterbacks in my thought on who the better quarterback, I would say Phillip Rivers was number 1, Ben Roethlisberger was number 2, Eli Manning was number 3. They're going to look at Eli Manning because he won the 2 chips, he won the 2 MVPs, he's a Manning. They're going to look at that. Like you were saying, it's all about the name, and that's why Eli probably go to the Hall of Fame before both of these guys. I think all three of them are going to the Hall of Fame. They very, very much well-deserved. And we just mentioned Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning. You're talking about 6 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and you played against all of them.
Yeah, man, tough pickings.